Hello there and welcome back. I've been asked many times about my video production technique. So today I want to go through the workflow that I have, the tools that I use, and I want to share some tips and tricks and why I think that video and content production is really important. At the end of this video we will actually do together one little small content piece using what I have on the desk, something that I would put on Instagram. So I show you exactly what I do. Before going on, as usual, a few ways you can support my page. You can hit the like button, you can subscribe, you can share this content, you can buy from the affiliate link, and you can become a patron. On Patreon I do one-on-one, I do exclusive content, and in the future all of my demo, tutorials and stuff will be just on Patreon. So why videos? I think that, especially in my experience, I needed to find a way to publish my constant flow of music. I started doing this during COVID, like I guess a lot of us, and so I didn't really have a way to go out there and play my music. And I find out that putting together the setup that I had and the experience that previously I had with photography worked really well. So I started with a religious commitment in producing one video a day. And the consistency in publishing and the consistency in the visual quality really helped me. In a few months I got thousands of subscribers, and that put me on the radar of many possibilities, brands, collaboration, festivals, a lot of stuff, and artists. That's actually the most interesting part, because a lot of artists reached out. I would also advise to keep things simple, especially when you begin. You need to learn so many things. How to shoot a video actually, how to edit a video, how to make the quality of the video high, especially if you do audio, how to record the things. So it's a lot of things, and I would say keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate your life. You can start with literally your iPhone and nothing else, and use what you have in your house. Right now in this shot I have the natural light, two other lights, one on the back light, one on the front. I have a great camera that I'm using, but those things comes after few years of working. At the beginning I had a 10-year-old camera, Canon Mark II, Canon 5D Mark II, just a few lenses and no light. I only would use the sunlight. That said, also you need to have a very clear focus and aim. What are you doing the video for? For me at the beginning was just like, I'm a nerd, I love all of these scenes. I want to find a way to portray them in a captivating way, but also I want them to serve my music. Another point that I would advise you is focus on quality rather than quantity. Yes, at the beginning I was going one video a day, and it helped a lot because it forced me to create, it forced me to be productive. But also, if I would go back now, I would chill a little and maybe aim to do 2 pieces of content a week. And then the last final advice before getting into the technical stuff, remember that our eye is used to see things with just one light, the sun. So this is a piece of advice that they give me at photography school back in the day. When you do things too complicated, when there's many lights, many shadow in your shot, things will gonna look weird. So always aim to have one key light, one main light that will create the shadow, will create the mood. Then all the other stuff that you can add is, cool things. Of course it's cool to have a backlight right now. It makes things more, cool. If I would remove stuff, like for example now things would get too dark, this helps to create your visual. So the more you learn, the more you can experiment. But at the beginning, please focus on just one main light. Okay, let's talk now about the tools, but to do that I need to actually take the camera that is there, because it's my main camera. It's the camera I love most in the world, and it's the Blackmagic 6K full frame. So to do that I will have to substitute and use my iPhone, so you'll also see right away how much a good camera impacts on your shoot. So let me do that. All right, we are back with the iPhone, and as you can see, it's not that bad. This actually is iPhone 12. So I did most of my YouTube video at the beginning with just an iPhone cam, top down, and so it works really well. It doesn't work for the kind of video I like to do on Instagram, and I show you why. Mostly it's because the lens of the iPhone has a very depth of field, so you cannot defocus things. Everything is in focus, and that really doesn't help. So let's talk about my favorite camera ever. Here it is. This is the Blackmagic 6K full frame. It's one of the latest. It actually has been sent to me by Blackmagic, and thank you so much, but I was lasting over it for a long time, and Blackmagic is a great company because really support creators. So why I love Blackmagic? First, it has a huge screen in the back. So as you can see, with this screen you can really see what's happening. The menu has all the simple thing, and it's super easy to set up your camera. It's really a breeze. I had before a Sony camera, and it was like every time hitting my head on the wall because there's so many things you can set up. This one, it's mind-blowingly easy. Then it has a visual quality that none other camera has. It's so beautiful, whatever come out of it. It's 6K. 6K means it's a huge resolution for what I need, but also has a very cool feature called open gate. It means it adds on top and the bottom quite a big portion because the sensor is a little taller. So what does it mean? That means that since we had to comply with the terrible vertical format of all of these social, TikTok, Instagram, I hate that, but it is what it is. Back in the day, what do I have to do? I have to take any camera I'm using, put it vertically. But that means that then I cannot use it for horizontal stuff, maybe for YouTube, maybe for other things that I want to do. With open gate, what I do is just like I frame a little farther away, but I have more information top and down. So I can do a vertical crop way easier. So it's a simple thing, but it's amazing, and really helps me in my workflow. Another thing that I love, I can use it as a webcam, a very expensive webcam, I would say, but I do stream, and now I put together a setup there with OBS, so I can use this quality with my amazing lens for streaming, which is great. Another thing that Blackmagic, of course, has a plethora of tools you can add. In this case, you can see I have a cage, it's called. And cage allow me to place, for example, the microphone here, the hot shoe for my hard drive, because I record directly on hard drive. These work with L lens, so I had some Leica lenses. So for example, I have this amazing 35 APO. Then I have all the M lenses here. I have the 50 from the 70s. I have another APO lens, the 90. Also, there's one thing that this kind of camera has, that is the possibility of shooting in this case, RAW. So this has B-RAW, which is the Blackmagic RAW, which works then very well with DaVinci, which is my post-production software of choices. And with that, I can import these files that are huge because it's 6K, amazing quality, but then I have all the information about color and light easily accessible and run super fast. So you need to aim to a camera that has log possibility to shot in logarithmic mode, means that it's a very flat tone, but then when you do post-production, when you do coloring, when you do the correcting, you have way more chances to create your pieces of art. Now, let's talk about lenses. I never ever used zoom lens. I hated it. Since when I was a photographer, I just use prime lens. And right now for video, yeah, I have some expensive tool that I used back in the photography day. But if you need to buy lenses, I would go with prime lenses with big aperture. So the f-stop should be 1.4, 1.4 or 2 maximum. And you can get very cheap lenses from the 80s, 70s, and they work amazing for video. So for example, well, these are very modern one, but I have a, this is from the 70s, it's a Summicron 50mm 1.4. It's Leica, so it's still expensive, but you can find stuff for that for $100. There's converter that allows you to use it in most of their cameras. So right now with these I could use also my Canon lens. It's fun to collect all of the old lens that has very interesting texture, vibe. So I advise you to just find a set of lens, and I would go with the 28, 50 and 85 or 100mm. Those are the three lenses that will cover everything. Get those in 1.4, 1.8 or 2 aperture. Invest in that because you will use them forever. What you are really, it's your friend is aperture. With the aperture, opening up your lens means that you will have a lot of focus option, and that's where the video will look amazing. We will see later on in the test we're doing together. Let me talk a little about the lights. I have two lights that I use mostly. One is this one. This is called LED light. It's a tube LED light. It's from Astera. It's pretty expensive, this one, but there's now chances to find it in many different versions and cost and color. This one is pretty cool because I can change the color, I can control it via an app, I can change the intensity, and it's battery operated, so I can put it literally wherever and create different kind of lightning. I usually use this as a main light, but also now I bought a new one. This is the Aputure with a small rig comb. This is a very cool and small light which I love, and yeah, nobody is sponsoring me, so only Blackmagic. This is stuff that I bought. I bought also this Never arm, and I have two, one there and one there for the top down. With this one I can do light, backlight, light for my face, and I can of course light my setup. What kind of advice I would give you about light? First, use what you have. If you have big windows, you are already set up. You just need some good source, and the sun is the best source of light. Start with the window and maybe put, as I did, some white curtain that diffuse your light, make it softer, so you can use the hard light when you want, but also softer light. Put your desk close to the window so you can use it. You need a lot of light to do good videos. And it's always good to overexpose rather than underexpose. If you overexpose, you can tune it down, but if underexpose and then you bring all your dark light up, it's gonna look terrible because there's gonna be a lot of grain, noise. Last step would be the post-production, which I do in DaVinci Resolve. It's a software that comes for free if you buy the Blackmagic, but it's also free if you use it at a resolution of 1080, so HD, which is fine for most of the thing. I will do a video about that in a second because it will take a lot of time and it's a lot to know. So now, let's actually shoot something. I will place the phone so I can let you know little by little what I'm doing, and I will start the camera so we will create our piece of content. First things, I would come out with an idea. So here I put together my setup, the one I like to play now, and it's gonna be my future live performance thing, and I have these things. So this is the stuff that I will perform. This is the stuff that I will play with, and I aim also to do 1 minute, 2 minute video. So this is ready. So I can show you what the camera sees. Right now, let me talk a little about that. The fact that I'm using a full aperture lens at 2.0, it helps me to create, as you see, all of these different layers. So here is in focus, but back there is out of focus, and the front is out of focus, and I think that is really important because it will aim your eye to what is in focus. So this part here, this part, which is what we care about. the image needs some sparkle. So now it's where I will start to first create my main light. So I will use that. Let's turn it on. And here it is. Now see how this change. Now I am bright. I aim the lights mostly towards me. So this could be enough to start because I'm using the light from the windows, which give me the tone of the room. But let's make things even more cool. So let's bring in one LED, and then I place it here, and I do a backlight, so that will separate better. It will create more shape. This is what we have. And I'll be here performing, so that will create some nice shape in the back of my figure. What we need to be careful, check the shadow there. I don't like that too much. If you would do this, then you will have a double shadow, which doesn't match the main light here. So I will minimize that as maximum as I can and do something like that. So this light has to go only over me. Now we want to have also some more sparkle. So here, let's turn on this light. Here it is. Now when you create like more shadow, it's fine if you tell us, okay, that is actually an artificial light. So it's a different color because right now all the lights are matched to the sunlight. You know, each source has a different light temperature. So this is 5,500. That is an incandescent light, so probably it's going to be 3,200, something like that. The fact that it's orangish, it's nice because it tells us that that's an artificial light. So it works. At this point, we are almost done. Let me check again. I would check again the framing. So maybe I want to have the lights coming in, so I frame it like that. So you have an idea of the studio. I have another light in my studio that I can turn on, which is nice. So here it is, tuck. And now I have everything ready. And here I am. I would sit down and go with a little performance. So let's try. I have the, here, I will bring in the S4, which I recorded the reverb into it and make it a pad. Then I would bring the 303 and the delay. Delay, I have now this new setup, 2 delay, 2 reverb. Sounds amazing. And then I would bring the drum. And that's it. That would be my performance. I would now bring that footage into my computer, work in DaVinci, and I'll show you in a second how it will look. So the end of this video will be actually my edited version of this video. So I hope this was interesting and shine actually a lot of light in the daily production that I do. I forgot to mention that evidently I record all the audio in Ableton. Anyway, if you have any question, let me know. And if you want me to mentor you in creating video, music, or whatever, please subscribe to my Patreon and I will be in touch anytime. All right, see you next week. Ciao.